I always thought my wife, Melissa, was the kind of person who needed structure. Color-coded calendars, a to-do list for every day, reminder notes on the fridge like we were running a small corporate office, not a marriage. So when she walked into the living room one Wednesday evening and said, "We need to talk," I assumed it was about laundry, recycling, or the way I stack plates. Spoiler, it was not. She sat down like a CEO preparing to fire someone. Back straight, chin up, dramatic sigh. I paused my game, put down the controller, and tried to look like a responsible adult. "What's up?" I asked. Melissa looked at me the way people look at microwaves that suddenly stop working. "I need a break," she said. "From what? Carbs? Social media? Me asking you to stop buying decorative pillows?" She blinked slowly. "From us. From the marriage." I stared at her for a good 10 seconds. My brain was buffering like a cheap Wi-Fi router. "A break," I repeated. "Like a coffee break? A Kit Kat break? Or the kind where you pack a suitcase and I sleep on one side of the bed like a widowed Victorian man?" She rolled her eyes. "Don't joke. I'm serious. I need space." I leaned back, crossed my arms, and waited. If she was going to drop a bomb, I at least wanted the full explosion. "All right," I said. "Explain." Melissa took a deep breath, preparing a speech she clearly practiced in the mirror. "I've been feeling disconnected. I need to find myself. I want to understand who I am outside of being a wife." I nodded slowly. "Okay, quick question. Are you planning to find yourself somewhere that requires a beach, bikinis, and new perfume? Because I noticed the Sephora bags." She frowned. "You're being unfair." "And you're being vague," I replied. "Try again." She crossed her arms now, annoyed that I wasn't collapsing into emotional mush like she expected. "My therapist said I need space from the relationship," she said. I raised an eyebrow. "Your therapist? The one who sells crystals? The one who told you Mercury retrograde was the reason you forgot my birthday?" "She's qualified," Melissa hissed. "Sure," I said. "Qualified to sell candles." She groaned and stood up. "See? This is exactly why I need distance. You make everything a joke." "That's better than making everything a mystery," I shot back. "Just tell me why you're really doing this." "I told you," she snapped. "I need time alone." "And yet," I said, "when people need time alone, they don't usually buy new heels, a tiny suitcase, and a swimsuit that looks like it was designed by dental floss manufacturers." Melissa opened her mouth, then closed it. She didn't expect resistance. She expected guilt, tears, drama. Instead, she got me, tired, sarcastic, and increasingly suspicious. "You're overreacting," she said. I just need a mental reset, a vacation from everything." "A vacation from your husband," I clarified. "Yes," she said firmly. "A temporary one." I shrugged. "If that's what you want, fine. But don't treat me like I'm an idiot." She looked offended. "I would never treat you like an idiot." "Then don't lie to me like I am one," I said. That stopped her. For a moment she looked genuinely rattled. Then the mask came back on. "I booked an Airbnb," she said. "I leave tomorrow." "Oh wow, so this wasn't a discussion," I said. "This was a calendar notification disguised as a conversation." "I didn't want to fight," she said quietly. "You didn't want questions," I corrected. "Big difference." She looked away, grabbed her phone, and pretended to be busy. I stood up. "All right," I said. "You want your space? Take it. I'm not going to chain myself to the door." Melissa looked surprised again. She wanted me to beg, to plead, to melt down like an emotional piñata. Instead, I walked into the kitchen and poured myself a drink. "You're handling this very poorly," she called out after me. "No," I said. "I'm handling it calmly. That's what's bothering you." She fell silent. For the rest of the evening, she stomped around packing her things. Not normal packing. This was runway model meets secret agent packing. Cute dresses, heels, a swimsuit I didn't recognize, makeup bags, hair tools, perfume. Enough stuff to film a reality show. She tried to hide the swimsuit under a sweater. I saw it anyway. That looks comfy, I said casually. It's functional, she muttered. For what? Swimming or auditions for a beach commercial? Please stop, she groaned. I shrugged. Just asking questions. Before going to bed, she announced, I'll have my phone on airplane mode most of the time. I need digital detox. Sure, I said. Just don't detox so hard you forget you're married. She shot me a glare and went to sleep on the edge of the mattress like I had offended her ancestors. The next morning she left early. No kiss, no hug. Not even a don't burn the house down. Just a dramatic sigh and, I hope you understand. Oh, trust me, I said. Understanding is my new full-time job. She frowned but said nothing. Then she left, suitcase rolling behind her like a tiny lying accomplice. And just like that, my wife began her break. I wasn't stupid. I just wasn't sure how bad the truth was going to be. Yet. For the first day, I honestly tried to give Melissa the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she really needed space. Maybe this was her way of avoiding a real conversation. Maybe she just wanted to sit in silence and eat overpriced sushi alone. I didn't know. What I did know was that the house was suddenly way too quiet. No diffusers blasting lavender. No motivational podcasts about women stepping into their power. No Melissa telling me I load the dishwasher wrong. At first, it felt like peace. By evening, it felt like a weird simulation of bachelor life, except all my friends were married with kids and had bedtime at 9:30. Around 11 p.m., I checked my phone out of habit. Melissa's chat was blank. No messages. Airplane mode. Digital detox. Right. I went to sleep trying not to think too much. The next morning I woke up, made coffee, opened Instagram, and saw a little green dot next to Melissa's name. Online. At 2:14 a.m. Interesting choice for someone detoxing from the digital world. I texted her, everything okay? 10 minutes later, Melissa. Don't stalk me. This is my time. My time. Like she booked a spa weekend sponsored by the United Nations. I didn't argue. I just put the phone down and said to myself, cool, totally normal thing to say to your husband of 7 years. Later that day, I noticed something weirder. Her story had a tiny circle at the top. One of those short clips she posts and deletes because they ruin the aesthetic. It was a 3-second video. A fancy glass with a slice of lime, upbeat lounge music, a man's hand placing a second drink on the table. Then boom! Story deleted. I sat there looking at my phone like, did Melissa just soft launch a guy during her marriage break? I tried to convince myself it could be anything, a waiter, a friend, somebody else's hand. But the voice in my head went, bro, that's not a waiter, that's a date. The next day, my friend Jason invited me out for a beer. Jason is blunt. He has no filter whatsoever. If he thinks your new haircut makes you look like a midlife crisis with legs, he'll tell you. I showed up, sat down, and before I could even order, he said, so, your wife having fun on her single girl vacation? I blinked. What? He shrugged. She posted a clip, then deleted it. Looked date-ish. Define date-ish. Cocktails, soft lighting, her smiling like a teenager with a crush. I groaned. Fantastic. Jason patted my shoulder. Hey, maybe she found herself. She can return herself to the store, I said. He laughed so loud people stared. Later that night, Melissa posted another story, this time just a sunset over a terrace. Pretty view, mountains, soft music. But here's the thing. I recognized the background. Jason's cousin had been to that exact place. I remembered the photos because Melissa spent a whole evening complaining how expensive that resort was and how she wished she had someone spontaneous enough to take her there. Apparently, she found someone. And apparently, he had a good camera. I didn't text her, didn't ask questions, didn't accuse her. Instead, I sent one message. Hope you're safe. She replied instantly. Stop suffocating me with your control. My eyebrow twitched. I literally said 4 words. Melissa. See? Controlling? I put the phone down and said out loud, yep, that's exactly what a controlling husband says when wishing his wife safety. The next day, Melissa's phone was Off for meditation all day, which must be the new spiritual term for battery saver because you're busy doing other things. By late afternoon, I saw something strange on her friend Alicia's story. A boomerang of Alicia holding a drink. Nothing special. But in the background, near the glass door, there was a reflection. A woman with Melissa's hair. And a tall guy leaning toward her. She didn't tag Melissa, clearly on purpose. And Melissa didn't repost, also clearly on purpose. Alicia forgot one thing though. Reflections exist. I zoomed in like a disappointed FBI agent. It was them, close, talking, laughing. I muttered to myself, if this is spiritual healing, then I've been doing spirituality wrong my whole life. Around 7 p.m., my phone buzzed. It was Jason again. Jason never texts something calmly. His messages always look like he's trying to warn me about an alien invasion. His text, Jason, bro, check this right now. He sent a screenshot of a live story someone captured before it got deleted. Melissa sitting on a couch in a dim bar. A man's arm around her shoulders, her leaning into him, smiling, comfortable, like she'd known him for months, not days. My heart dropped, not in a romantic, dramatic movie way, more like a, wow, she didn't even try to hide that one. She deleted it in under a minute, but not before half her friends saw it. Jason wrote, "You okay?" I replied, "Yeah, I'm just done being stupid." And I meant it. She didn't text me the next day, not one word. But her green dot was glowing all night. Online at 1:12 a.m. Online at 2:58 a.m. Online at 4:47 a.m. Her digital detox apparently came with unlimited Wi-Fi and a +1. I didn't chase her, didn't write her long, emotional essays, didn't blow up her phone. Instead, I made steak, watched TV, took a long shower, and sat on the balcony. I said to myself, she wanted space. Fine. Space is all she's getting now. On the 7th day, she returned. The morning she came back, she walked in glowing like she spent a week being photoshopped. New tan, new nails, new hair, new smile. She set her suitcase down dramatically. "I'm ready to work on us," she said. I looked at her calmly. Not angry, not shaken, just done. "Cool," I said. "Who's the guy?" Her face dropped so fast gravity filed a complaint. And that was the moment her vacation truly ended. Melissa blinked at me like someone unplugged her brain mid-update. "Who's the guy?" she repeated, eyebrows twitching like two angry caterpillars. "You heard me," I said. "Tall, decent haircut, likes cocktails, long arms. Who is he?" She swallowed hard. "You're insane." "Good," I said. "Now answer the question." She dropped her suitcase, the wheels making a dramatic thump like that added emotional weight to her acting. "There is no guy," she said firmly, standing straight like she rehearsed this in the mirror of that Airbnb bathroom. "Great," I said. "So you were hugging a ghost. Awesome. Should we call the church?" "Stop it. You first." She threw her hands up. "You're twisting everything." "I'm describing everything," I corrected. "Twisting would require creativity. This is basic observation." Her jaw clenched so hard I could hear her molars fill out HR complaints. "I can't believe you're doing this the moment I walk through the door. And I can't believe you walked back through the door with a tan from the romance section of a travel brochure." She took a sharp breath. "You promised to give me space," she said. "I did," I replied. "You used it to give someone else your time." "That's not what happened." "Right," I nodded. "It's worse than what happened." Her eyes bulged. "You're being cruel." "No," I said. "I'm being factual. Cruel was you deleting stories like a teenager hiding a new crush." Her face flushed. "I deleted them because I didn't want you to get upset." "Oh," I said. "So I should be grateful you hid the cheating?" "Very thoughtful." "Stop calling it cheating," she shouted. "Stop doing things that look like cheating," I shot back. She groaned loudly, pacing across the room like she was practicing for a dramatic monologue. "You don't understand," she said. "Probably not," I said. "Try. Use small words." Don't talk to me like that. Then don't talk to me like I'm supposed to play dumb. She stopped pacing and pointed at me. You're supposed to fight for us, she said. I am, I said. This is me fighting, for myself. That stunned her. The first crack. Her voice dropped. What does that even mean? It means, I said, I'm done pretending your spiritual retreat wasn't a soft launch for your new situationship. She froze. Situationship? Really? We're using TikTok words now? Sorry, I said. Would you prefer boyfriend? Vacation partner? Limited time offer? She let out a pained noise. You're being impossible. No, I replied. Impossible is what you did, trying to sell me your week-long date as self-discovery. She tried a different tactic, her favorite one. She crossed her arms, lowered her voice, and spoke in that calm, therapist-approved tone she uses when she wants to manipulate a narrative. I was lost. Yep, I nodded. In his arms. She snapped. That's not funny. It's not a joke, I said. It's a location. Her breathing got uneven. You're humiliating me, she whispered. You humiliated yourself, I said. I'm just reading the subtitles. Her eyes filled with tears instantly. The emergency switch she always flips when logic hits her too hard. You don't love me, she whispered dramatically. No, I said. I loved you enough to trust you. You didn't. Her lower lip trembled. It didn't mean anything, she whispered. Then why delete the stories? I asked. Because I was scared. Scared of losing me? No, scared of being judged. I blinked. Wow, I said. That was the worst possible answer and you still committed to it. Impressive. She wiped her eyes aggressively. I made a mistake. Sure, I said. 1 or 7 days worth? That's not fair. Neither was your little romantic getaway. She took a shaky step closer. We can fix this, she said softly. We always fix things. We fix things, I corrected. This time you broke something alone. She tried to touch my arm. I stepped back. That destroyed her. She looked at her hand like it betrayed her. Don't pull away from me, she whispered. You left first, I said. She closed her eyes, tears rolling down, dramatic, loud, meant for sympathy. I hate this, she said through sobs. I hate us fighting. I hate feeling like the villain. You're not the villain, I said calmly. You're just the one who made all the choices. She shook her head. You pushed me away. You didn't listen. You didn't meet my emotional needs. I felt alone. So your solution, I said, was to feel less alone with someone else. She bit her lip so hard it turned white. I didn't sleep with him. Congratulations, I said. Bare minimum achieved. Should I get you a medal? She looked wounded. That's not fair. And what you did was? I asked. Come on, Melissa. Be serious for 1 second. She suddenly straightened, wiping tears, switching into self-defense mode again. If you walked away from me after everything we've built, that says more about you than about me. I laughed. Actually laughed. That line sounded better in your head, didn't it? She glared. You're cold. I had a week to warm up, I said. Alone. She shook her head violently. No, no, no. I won't let you do this. You don't get to leave me after one mistake. One mistake? I asked. Melissa, you spent a week practicing that mistake. She tried one more trick, the desperate whisper. I still love you. Maybe, I said. But you didn't love me last week. She let out a quiet sob and sat on the floor, hugging her knees like a teenager punished for sneaking out. I watched her silently, not out of cruelty, out of clarity. After a moment, she lifted her head. What now? She whispered. I took the remote off the table, turned off the TV and said, Now? You finally face the consequences. And I finally stopped pretending this was a retreat and not a preview of your life without me. She blinked, confused. Are you leaving me? No, I said. You left first. I'm just catching up. And that sentence broke her more than anything else. Melissa sat on the floor with her knees pulled tight to her chest, as if she could compress herself into a different person. I stood by the door, keys in hand, ready to leave the apartment and breathe air that wasn't filled with half-baked excuses. She lifted her head, eyes swollen. "You can't just walk away," she whispered. "I'm not walking away," I said calmly. "I'm just walking out of this room before I say something I won't take back." "Please, don't leave like this," she begged. "I'll be back for my things," I said. "I just need space, the real kind, not the find yourself on a beach kind." She flinched, buried her face in her hands, and I opened the door. Her voice, tiny and cracked, followed me into the hallway. "Please, don't give up on us." But I didn't stop, didn't turn around, didn't soften. I walked out of the building, got into my car, and drove. No destination at first, just forward. Eventually, on autopilot, I ended up in front of my friend Jason's place. Of course I did. He was blunt, loud, hopeless with relationships, but always loyal when it mattered. I texted him, "Outside, need a couch to crash." 30 seconds later, the door opened and Jason stepped out wearing sweatpants, holding a beer. "You look like a man who found out his wife joined a cult," he said. "Something like that," I muttered. He didn't ask more. He just let me in, handed me a drink, and turned on the living room lights. "Sit," he ordered. "Talk if you want. Be silent if you want. I support both." I sat down on the couch and finally exhaled. It was the deepest breath I'd taken all week. Jason glanced at me. "She confess anything?" "She confessed nothing," I said. "But she cried a lot about being misunderstood." He snorted. Classic. For the first time since the break started, I felt the tightness in my chest begin to loosen. I didn't even want to check my phone. But when it buzzed in my pocket, I instinctively grabbed it. "Melissa?" "No." "Unknown number. Name displayed. Emily W." I frowned. Jason noticed. "Who's that? You ordering food?" "No." I opened the message, and the entire room fell silent. "Hi. You don't know me, but I think my husband spent last week with your wife." My mind blanked for a moment. Then another message came. "I'm sorry to reach out like this. I found their messages just now. I thought you should know." Jason leaned over. "Dude, what the hell is that?" I didn't answer. I just kept reading. "If this is the wrong number, I'm sorry. But I saw your wife's name, and photos, and booking confirmations. Your wife was with my husband. His name is Mark." Jason sat down slowly. "Holy shit." Another message popped up. "If you need proof, I can send it." Jason looked at me. "Tell her yes." I didn't need help deciding. I typed, "Send it." A moment later, my screen filled with photos. Melissa on a balcony, wine glass in hand, and a man's hand on her waist. Melissa at a bar, leaning into the same man. Melissa in sunglasses, and in the reflection, the man standing behind her, shirtless, smiling. Jason's jaw dropped. "She told you nothing happened? Bro, that is a full vacation relationship." More messages followed. His phone was synced to our home laptop. I saw the reservations. The hotel booking says your wife's name, plus his. They booked a couples package. I felt a strange calmness settle over me. Not rage, not heartbreak, just clarity. Final message. "I'm so sorry. I just wanted you to know you're not crazy." Jason let out a low whistle. "You okay?" he asked. I nodded slowly. For the first time in a week, yeah, I am. Because now I had everything. The truth, the proof, the closure. Melissa's tears, excuses, half-phrases. None of it mattered now. She hadn't just betrayed me. She helped another man betray his wife, and she came home acting like a victim. Jason put a beer in my hand. "To new beginnings," he said. I clinked the bottle against his. "To not being played for a fool anymore," I replied. The beer tasted better than it should have. Or maybe it was the first sip of honesty I'd had in a long time. But the peace didn't last. Not even an hour later, my phone lit up again. This time with her name. First a call, then another. Then 3 more. I didn't pick up. A message came through. Where are you? Why aren't you answering? I'm scared. I locked the phone. A minute later. Please, please talk to me. I'm losing my mind. We can fix this. I swear we can fix this. I'll do anything. Are you with someone else? Is that why you're ignoring me? Jason raised an eyebrow. She cheated for a week straight, but you ignore her one evening and she thinks you're cheating? That's talent. I put the phone face down. Let her panic, I said. For once, she can sit with her choices. By morning, she'd sent at least 20 more messages. Some short. Please answer. Some long. I'm not the monster you think I am. I was lost, I was overwhelmed, I was stupid. But I never wanted to hurt you. Please don't walk away from everything we built. Some manipulative. You abandoning me now is worse than anything I did. Jason read that over my shoulder and snorted. Oh yeah, classic. My cheating is bad, but your reaction is the real crime. Then came the voicemails. Crying, apologizing, crying harder, trying to sound calm, then crying again. I didn't listen to more than a few seconds. At noon she tried FaceTiming me. I declined. She tried again. Declined. Then a text. I'm begging you. Please come home. Just talk to me. I wrote only one sentence back. I'll come in a few days for my things. Her reply came instantly. Okay, whenever you want. Please just come back home when you're ready. I'll be here. For the first time since the whole disaster began, I felt nothing reading her words. Nothing at all. 2 days later, her messages shifted. At first desperate. Have you eaten? Are you sleeping? I'm worried. Then hopeful. I know we can fix this. I know it. I believe in us. Then angry. This silent treatment is abusive. Then back to desperate. Please, I'll do anything. Don't throw us away. Jason shook his head. She's bouncing between guilt, rage, grief, manipulation, all the classics. I spent those days thinking, but not about saving anything, about how lucky I was to finally see the truth. I drove back to the apartment on a Wednesday afternoon, the same building I'd left feeling broken. Now I walked into it feeling clearer than ever. Melissa had been waiting. She opened the door before I even knocked. Her eyes were swollen. She looked like she hadn't slept. Her hands were shaking slightly. You came, she whispered. For my things, I said. She winced, like the words physically hit her. I've been thinking nonstop, she said, stepping aside so I could enter. And I just want to talk. Please, before you go, please talk to me. I walked past her into the bedroom and opened the closet. She followed me like a shadow. I know I messed up, she said quietly. I know I did, but I didn't mean to lose you. I didn't mean to destroy us. It got out of control. I folded my shirts into a bag. She continued. I was lonely. I was confused. I made a horrible mistake, a stupid mistake, one I regret every second. She put a hand over her chest. But it was just one mistake. 1 week. We can fix 1 week, can't we? I zipped the bag halfway. Melissa, I said without turning around. Stop talking. She froze. I took out my phone, unlocked it, and turned to face her. You're still trying to frame this as a moment, a slip, an accident, something that just happened. I raised the phone. So let's stop pretending. Her face went pale instantly. I opened the first photo Emily sent me. Melissa on the balcony, leaning into him. Her eyes widened. Where did you get that? Swipe. Melissa at the bar, pressed into his side. No, wait, please. Swipe. Melissa in the sunglasses, with Mark's reflection behind her. She covered her mouth, whispering something that wasn't even words. Then I opened the hotel booking. Her name, his name, 1 room, couples package, 7 nights. She shook her head violently, whispering, No, 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 please, no. You didn't just cheat on me, I said, my voice calm, steady. You helped a married man cheat on his wife. She froze like her blood turned to ice. What? No. I didn't know. I swear I didn't know. I don't care whether you knew, I replied. You still did it. She stepped forward trembling, tears running down her face. I didn't know he was married. I swear on my life. I didn't know. Please, please, you have to believe me. I shook my head. Even if that's true, I said, you still destroyed our marriage. And his. She crumpled, knees buckling as she grabbed the dresser for support. I didn't want this, she cried. I didn't want to ruin anything. I didn't. I love you. You loved attention, I corrected. You loved feeling wanted. You loved being chased. But you didn't love me enough to stay faithful. She sobbed harder, desperate, shaking. We can fix it. Please, we can fix it. I'll do therapy, anything. Just don't leave, please. I closed my bag. You didn't ask for a break from the marriage, I said. You asked for permission to betray me without guilt. She covered her face with both hands. And now, I finished, you get to live with it. All of it. What you did to us. And what you did to them. She looked up, broken. Please, don't go. I already left, I said quietly. I'm just taking my things now. And I walked out, leaving her sobbing on the bedroom floor. Not because I wanted revenge, not because I wanted her to suffer, but because her consequences finally arrived at her doorstep. When I walked out of that apartment for the last time, I didn't look back. And, surprisingly, it didn't hurt the way people say it should. It felt like taking off a heavy coat I didn't realize I'd been wearing for years. I stayed at Jason's place for another week. He refused to let me pay rent, saying, if I ever get cheated on, you can pay me back by not letting me burn the house down. Classic Jason. I went back to work, kept my head down, and found that life without chaos was peaceful, quiet, predictable in the best way. Melissa tried to contact me for several days after I left. Texts, calls, long messages full of apologies, explanations, promises, tears. Then it shifted into anger, then back into begging, then into silence. A silence that meant she finally understood it was over. I transferred my share of the apartment contract to her. She didn't fight it. She didn't ask to meet. Maybe she couldn't face me anymore, knowing what I knew and what I had seen. We never spoke again. A month later, Jason told me he ran into one of Melissa's friends at the grocery store. She looked uncomfortable, but she talked. Melissa wasn't doing well. She'd tried reaching out to Mark, the married man she'd spent that week with, but he wasn't returning her calls. His wife, Emily, had kicked him out, filed for divorce, and made sure everyone on both sides knew why. He vanished from Melissa's life completely. The man she risked everything for didn't even fight for her. Melissa moved back with her parents for a while. Some nights I thought about writing something to her. A final message, a goodbye, something neat and tidy. But every time the thought appeared, it disappeared just as fast. There was nothing left to say. Emily, the wife of the man Melissa was with, wrote me once more. A short, simple message. I hope you find something better. You deserve it. I replied the same. She and I didn't become friends or anything, but there was a strange, quiet solidarity between us. Two people who didn't ask for a war, but survived the same battlefield. As for me, I found my own place. Small, peaceful, with sunlight in the mornings, and a kitchen that didn't smell like arguments. I started cooking again. Started running after work. Started listening to music that didn't remind me of anything. People say divorce or separation leaves a hole. Maybe that's true. But sometimes the hole is just the space that finally opens when someone stops standing on your chest. I didn't rush into dating, didn't jump onto apps, didn't go out searching for a rebound. I let the quiet rebuild me, slowly, steadily, honestly. One evening, Jason and I sat on my balcony with beers. He looked at me and said, "You're different now." "Better or worse?" I asked. "Better," he said. "More, you." And for the first time in a long, long time, I agreed. If you felt this story hit hard, drop a like, subscribe for more, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support keeps Steelheart beating.